welcome to my channel. I'm Lou and I love doing my nails. So I've created this channel to share some of the creative designs that I'm trying out, different techniques and things like that. And hopefully you'll enjoy and it will maybe inspire some of your nail art. So I'm going to get started with prepping my nails. I'm going to whip through this pretty quickly, but I am just pushing my cuticles back because I'm going to be applying acrylic to my nails. I'm practicing, I'm getting better, I hope. So I'm also going to file my nails down a little, just buff them a bit and take some of the shine off before I apply my tips. I'm using these files that I got from Amazon. It's just a pack of them and they have a mix of grits in them, but they work pretty well. And then I've pre-selected my tips. These I actually got from a acrylic starter set. It's a Kiss one from Superdrug. I'll link it below if anyone's interested. It's actually quite a good set if you're wanting to kind of dip your toe into doing your own acrylics. It comes with everything that you need: tips, monomer, clear acrylic. It comes with some white tips for French as well, and it's pretty good actually. The monomer is really nice. The acrylic powder is good too, so I'd recommend it if you want to try it out. And I'm just still using these tips, and then I am just cutting them down to size. I didn't want to do these too long. I've actually had acrylics on for about 4 months now, and I took them off about a week ago, and they were quite long, so I wanted to kind of start these from scratch, fairly short. And then I'm just using my electric drill to just file those tips down flush with the nail. I got this drill forever ago, years ago, and it's not very good, I will say. So I wouldn't recommend it even if I did know where it was from. It sort of stops and starts and you can't control the RPM on it. And if anyone has recommendations of a good file, please let me know. I'm now just cutting them down to size or to shape. So I want these almond shape. So I'm just taking the corners off. I got this clipper, I think, from Wish. It's just a cheap one, but it does the job. So I'm just getting a rough start to the shape, and then using my file to really get that almond shape. Now I did spend a bit of time getting this shape together. Really, I didn't need to do quite so much at this point because I'm applying acrylic and I'm going to have to file them again afterwards. But it does, particularly being fairly new to applying acrylic, it does sort of help give me a good guide. And now this is the acrylic powder that I've been using recently from, I think it's Now Nails. I think they're a UK-based company. It's a beautiful colour, a lovely nude. And then I'm using this TNBL monomer that I got from Amazon. I'll link that down below. It's really good stuff. And then I'm using a nail dehydrator from Moravan. I'm just applying that to dehydrate the nails. And then I recently bought this brush from Amazon. It's Saviland, it's size 12, and it's got these gorgeous little crystals in it. It's really pretty and a really good size brush. I was using smaller brushes when I was still practicing with my acrylic, but now I feel a bit more confident. I've gone up in my brush size so that I can get my nails done a little bit quicker. So I'm just applying the acrylic now. I won't spend too long showing you guys this process. I'll speed it up a bit. But I start with one fairly big bead, just a little bit away from the cuticle, and then add another one and just take that a bit lower so that I'm coming in at the cuticle and spreading that down. And I've cut some of this down. I'm definitely not on a 2 bead process only per nail just yet. I'm still getting used to shaping it before it dries and getting everything in the right place. So there are points when I need to get a little bit of extra acrylic to fill in any little divots that I've made with the brush, or areas of unevenness. So it's a practice. I would definitely not recommend using this video as a guide for applying your acrylic. There are some amazing YouTubers that I watch often and use to help inspire me. I'll link some of my favorite creators below who have really good guides to acrylic. So I've just cut to where I've finished them up now and filed them down so that they're smooth and a good shape. And then this is the acid-free primer from Moravan that came with that dehydrator. And I'm just applying that to my nails now before I start my designs. So the base coat that I'm using for my gel paint, it's You Are Sugar. I believe I got it from Amazon. I apologise that I don't know exactly where to get all these products. I've had them for a few years now. I've been doing my gel colour on and off for years before I was doing my own acrylic. So I'm just putting that base coat on and curing for about 30 seconds. And then I have these Acre colours. There's a few different colours I'm using today. So we've got this lovely powdery blue, a nice dusky pink colour. And I got this set from Amazon as well. So I'll see if I can find a link and link it in the description below. And then this bright yellow, but we're going to be cooling that down and making that more of a pastel shade to look like mini eggs. So I'm just using this little design plate. So I got this from Amazon too. I'll link this below. It was cheap. It's not, anything special. It's definitely plasticky, but it works really, really well for mixing colours. So I recently purchased this Model 1's white gel polish. It's 0555. It's a really big bottle, really good value. I did get that from Amazon. I'll link that below. And I'm using that with these colours just to make them more of a pastel shade and mixing them up on that palette. And I wasn't too sure on how much I'd need of each, so I did end up adding some more white to that yellow. The colours are pretty pigmented, so actually you do need quite a bit of white to get that nice pale shade that you're looking for. And then I just started painting on the petals of the flowers. So I actually saw this design, I think on Instagram first, but I've also seen it in similar designs on Pinterest. And I just thought it was really cute for Easter and I wanted to try it out. I also love mini eggs. So I thought, why not do a fun little design that's not sort of really obviously mini eggs, but it's cute and spring and a nod to Easter. I think a lot of what I will be posting on this channel will be designs I've not tried before, so you can try them out with me and we'll see how we go. So I haven't done this before. I haven't drawn these sorts of flowers before. The brush that I did choose, I don't think was really quite the right one to get these little petals right, but it worked. It did the job. So I started with the yellow on that middle finger, and I feel like actually I made it a little bit chunkier than I wanted it to be. You'll see with the other nails that they're a bit more delicate, so I definitely got better at that design as I kind of went along. So again, I've added a bit more white to that blue colour And I'm starting on the pinky finger now. I think also I could have used slightly less paint each time on the brush. I did only end up needing to do one coat of the flowers because the opacity was enough, but actually I think it would have dried quicker and perhaps not spread as much and kept that neat design if I had used a slightly thinner coat and maybe done a second coat. So I'm just working on the thumb now, drawing on each of those petals. This did take me a while, so you'll see I've sped this up. So I was trying to be quite careful with it. Although this design was based on the colours of mini eggs, so I'm just using this sort of purple colour that I've mixed with the pink, the blue and the white. I've tried to kind of use the colours that mini eggs often are, the legit Cadbury mini eggs, but obviously you can get these kinds of chocolate eggs in different places where they're a bit brighter colours, and I actually think the flower designs are really cute. You could do that with any colours really, but I always think pastels are lovely for spring. So I'm getting quicker. You see I did the ring finger pretty quick. And I'm now using the pink on my pointer finger. I'd say that's probably the flower that I'm happiest with. And obviously it's the last one that I did. So practice definitely makes perfect, or at least better. So I did go back in to that middle nail. Once I'd got to the other nails, I realised that they looked a lot nicer and I'd kind of got more of that length on each of the petals. So I just touched that up with the yellow. And now I'm using the You Are Sugar 001 black, but obviously you could use any black for the dots on the eggs. And I also added this sort of Albany shade, burgundy shade. So I'm just mixing that up after curing the colour for about 90 seconds. I do have a bit of an older UV lamp. I'm looking to get an LED one so that I can cure a bit quicker. But I've just mixed up those two colours, the black and the burgundy, and I've taken a very small pointed brush to start adding the dots. And again, I got better at this as I went along, and kind of got the pattern right that looked like mini eggs. With the little finger, I feel like I did too many dots and they were quite spaced out, whereas if you actually look at mini eggs, they're not uniform. There's kind of patches where there are more of the spots than others. So as I go along, I feel like I got a bit more confident with how I wanted it to look. So I'm just adding those spots to each of the nails. I also varied the size of the spots as I went along, so it was a little easier with the bigger nails, but varying the size and making some of those dots slightly irregular shapes just made it look a little bit more realistic, and I think turned out quite well. I think initially I was a bit nervous about dotting them on. I didn't want to mess it up. I didn't want to get any of the dark colour on the nude of my nails, but actually it's really fun to just kind of see what you can create. So you'll see that's what they look like before I cured them. I did go back in and touch up a couple of the nails in places, and I cured those for about 90 seconds. So my final step is adding the yellow spots to the center of the flower. My camera did actually die before this point, so I don't have footage of me actually drawing those dots on. But again, I just used that thin brush. And I just top coated that with matte to give that smooth mini egg kind of texture. And this is the finished product. I think they look really cute. So please do let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'd also love it if you'd subscribe and like this video. I'm going to be posting a lot more coming up of different nail designs, things that are trending, designs I've wanted to try for ages. Comment below anything you'd like me to try out. Thanks for watching. Bye.